and welcome back to Rue's Life. So here I am in the onion bed. I'm surrounded by the onions but also these beautiful Californian poppies. And today I am going to harvest my onions. So these onions were put in October. I've got two varieties. I can't remember off the top of my head which they are, so I will put that on screen now. But essentially I've got a red variety and a white variety. And there's all sorts of talk about when you should be harvesting onions, and traditionally, yes, it's when the leaves start to look yellowy brown and they start to flop over. And I used to get really hung up on holding on and are they ready, are they not ready. A lot of the time my onions tend to try and bolt, and you can see here that I've got these onion scapes. So I'm just going to snap this one off. It used to really freak me out. But over the years, what we actually do is we just chop these scapes off and we use them, and they're really, really tasty. And I think I've mentioned that before in videos. The problem with those is they don't tend to keep so well, and you'll find that the middles of them will either rot out or they'll start to actually try and sprout. So because, as I say, I chop and freeze my onions, I don't worry so much when they're trying to bolt. So I know that these are ready simply because I've been keeping a close eye on them. I know that I put them in October. They should be ready around about now. So we're just coming to the middle of June. And I can just see, if I scrape the soil back a little, that the onions are really well developed. So I'm going to crack on and get these onions in. So I've just got a hand trowel and a trug, the trug to put the onions in and the trowel to help me lift any that are a little bit stubborn. And look at these. I've got some real whoppers. There's some smaller ones in there, but I can honestly say I'm really thrilled with this harvest. Last year's was reasonable, the year before was a bumper one, and we're back to having a bumper harvest this year, and I'm absolutely thrilled, as I say, with them. So you can see, as I say, there's some real nice whoppers in there, and they've got the nice floppy necks, and this we'd probably store quite well. There are some in there, and it tends to be the red more than the white. You can see how this hasn't got a floppy neck and it's not going to store well. So what I will probably do is go through these now. I will pick out the ones with the floppy necks and put them on one side. The others with the not so floppy necks that have obviously been trying to bolt will then go to the other side. I will then give them a few weeks laid out in the polytunnel, and I tend to put them on my staging, and I put them so that the stem is down the slat and then the onion is sitting nicely at the top. And I'll give them a few weeks like that, and then I'll check them over again. And I tend to make probably one plat out of those that are more storable. The rest I will immediately store in the freezer, so they'll just be skinned, chopped and frozen, and that way I can guarantee I'm not going to lose any. So my next job is a cup of tea before I transfer these into the polytunnel to start them curing. But I'm absolutely thrilled, and I wish that you could smell this wonderful onion aroma coming from these absolutely fabulous onions.